Chatty House. We ballin', boy. We going up at the Chatty House. We talk about it all, bring the family out. Sub to the channel, hit the lights now. And we only going up when the lights down. Yeah, we just getting started. Ain't no party like a Chatty House party. We just getting started. Ain't no party like a Chatty House party.
What up? What up? You know what it is? It's the after party, Chatty House after party. We're missing one. David has some family stuff to get together. So we'll catch him next week, I'm sure. Usually we'd start off with the Kings. We work our way through everything. But today we're going to start with, well, since the Kings weren't in anything anymore, what was a pretty big weekend in the wrestling world. We had Wrestlemania, which Katrina stayed all weekend to watch. And then, of course, what is now considered even a big event, too, is the Raw after WrestleMania. So in doing all that, because Katrina just has such a wealth of knowledge in this, we decided to bring in somebody else, help along the conversation a little bit. Y'all know him. He's a video genius. Right. He can fly. He uses those ears to fly a little bit. He's cute. And he's an originator, an innovator. We're going to run your co-host onto the stage. What up, Zay?
Run your game.
There, he's the first one. There you go. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, man. Trying to steal your shine.
No.
Such controversy.
I paid David to ban some people for me, but we'll keep it on the low.
So, I know you're a big wrestling person. Kyron's a big wrestling person. I did stop watching it for a while until about it was probably D'Lo and Casey that got me right back into it again. And then the storylines have definitely gotten way better over the last couple of years. So that really got me back into it. So I was excited for the weekend. What did you think about WrestleMania night 1 and 2?
I thought night 1 was better than night 2. Night 2 wasn't terrible. It's just that ending was weird.
Horrible.
With Travis Scott and that whole debacle. But personally, I love the stories of WWE, but I like the fighting, like in wrestling aspect of it too a lot. That's why I kind of liked AEW. They kind of fell off, but it's another story. But I liked a lot of the matches that were on like the lower card. I wasn't too disappointed, but it wasn't one of the better ones.
What about you, Kyron?
I totally agree. Night 1 overall just had a great feel. And that ending to night 2 was just so wild and so stupid. I still don't understand why we needed Travis Scott. I don't understand where the hell The Rock was. Like, how do you lead up for months that it's going to be Rock versus Cody and then the biggest PLE of the year, and he's like, "Oh, we're just not going to show The Rock."
And it's funny because I don't know if you guys caught the interview with The Rock. He basically, whether it's true or not, he said that he definitely hinted towards he didn't think that the Travis Scott part was a good idea either. He kind of hinted that he would have changed a couple of things, and I think that was the one thing he was hinting towards. And then inexplicably, he was talking about like he didn't want to take the shine away from the wrestlers, which is like, bro, you were missing the whole point of the whole storyline then, because you should have been involved for a while. Like there was a bunch of things you should have never came out for SummerSlam, all that, the whole you didn't need any of that if you weren't going to be involved in it then. So that made no sense.
I think Bad Blood just to stand there. He came out at Bad Blood in Atlanta. He just stood there for 30 seconds. It's like, what was this leading to?
So I think that's a bunch of bullshit. Like, I don't believe that whatsoever. I think something else happened, or maybe they didn't realize his schedule was conflicting or whatever it was. But it definitely wasn't that.
You have to schedule because WrestleMania is set like a year in advance.
Yeah, you know when it's going to be.
You knew it was coming up.
Well, he for sure did, but whatever, man. But yeah, that was kind of that was as bad as watching Nico Harrison do a press conference. It's like, bro, just don't say nothing, man. Just leave it. That sounded worse than anything else you could have said. So That
The
just
Rust
didn't
Dog,
seem.
Travis Scott didn't make it to the ring. He swung at Cody for some reason, and then Cody hit him with a crossroads, and then Cena just hit him with the belt.
Cody kept
Yes.
saying, "I remember what you did. I
Yeah.
remember. I
Yeah.
remember."
That part
Okay.
was
He's gonna actually
crazy.
hit him.
That part was crazy.
Right. See, you get it. You
There
get
you
it.
go.
And I think like
Continue.
for me, like when we were doing last week, we did like picking the matches. I only had like out of the whole. It's not a big deal. They're pretty easy to figure out. But I think I only had
Yeah.
two that I actually that I missed out on as far as who was going to win. Was there a favorite match from either? What I guess because it's two nights, which to me still is the most ridiculous thing. Go back to one night, and
Yeah.
it's like made up matches that they have to just plug in because
Yeah.
you have time. Like that's ridiculous. But
I'm okay with it in WrestleMania, but the Summer Slams
no,
and
that's even worse.
stuff
Yeah,
like that, we don't need that. We don't need all that.
no.
But
Now,
the one I think
this
I like,
match was
night one's main event might have been my favorite, and my guy LA Knight lost. So
wait, but he
That's
lost to
cool.
Sacramento's own Jacob Fatu, so that's fine, right?
that's true. So that's a win, I guess.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay. Was it just me, or did the Joe Hendry pop was like that? Was that not the biggest pop of the entire weekend?
He's over.
That was
What
that and Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That when they had Randy out there, and I was like, who are they going to bring out?
Mhm.
It has to be somebody surprising. It was like, it's either going to be a legend because we're going to go back to Legend Killer, or it's got to be Joe Hendry. Like, who else is going to give you that pop of like, oh, that this was the oh shit moment that they needed for this match? And
Yeah.
that he was perfect for that. He did everything corny like he's supposed to, and then he laid out and Randy did his thing.
Like I know for me, look, I'm gonna sound like a hater. It's fine. I'm not impressed by anything he does in the ring
No.
at all. Like it's very basic. It's very vanilla to me, and I think that's the one part that keeps him on the circuit that he's on. But the character itself and the whole gimmick, it's so over, it's so above, and it makes me mad sometimes. Almost it's like I wish the skills matched the character, because if it did, he'd probably have a belt in WWE somewhere. Like he definitely would be on the main stage all the time. So that's the only thing for me that holds him back. I think they'll bring him up at some point because he's over, and Triple H kind of hinted at that.
Yeah.
But he really needs to be, and I don't even know because he's not young. He's been around for a while.
He's in his like 30s right now.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know what else. Like, you can't really teach you can't teach athleticism. Either you are, a high flyer, whatever, really, or you're just, you're not, right? Like, he's more to me like the Kevin Owens of a lower version of Kevin Owens, as far as like, like a bruiser type guy. And I don't know, man. I like him though. That's the thing, is like I like his charisma and all that, but I just don't think the skills match the character. That's all.
Well, in the chat, Tasha was
36.
saying that she thought he was a little bit more like a Sami Zayn. Like he's over, but you just can't see him as a top level talent like that. Like he's a mid card for sure, but you just don't see him. And I totally agreed with her on that. It's like if he came to WWE, when he does come, he's gonna be a mid card. He's gonna be like an LA Knight type. Yeah. He's gonna be mid card. They might push him every once in a while, but he's mid card to bottom tier, if anything.
And there you go. LA Knight
pop.
Yeah, it was a great pop. So I agree. Stratton Flair was basically, to me, what I expected. It just it was whatever, bro. Like, I would have been mad if Flair won. She didn't deserve it.
Yes.
She didn't earn it the way she's been. So I'm glad that they at least came to their senses on that, because I don't think that was the original plan. I truly believe
Katrina, I know that's what you wanted to see, right? Katrina, you wanted to see Charlotte win.
Yes.
I could see.
I knew it.
You're a Charlotte Flair kind of girl. I could see the queen, that queen aspect. Yeah, you're a queen, so I get it. But the New Day, I think we all expected that.
Yeah.
El Grande Americano, that was great.
That was a good match, actually.
It really was.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal, man. He's come up, like, he's always, like we talked about last week, like he's always been a great wrestler, but the way he's learned the lucha stuff, and like he's a star. he is definitely a star, man.
And shout out to Ray Phoenix to step in the day of basically and take over for Rey Mysterio's spot. That was amazing to do that in less than 12 hours, 24 hours, whatever. That's a great way to do that.
Oh, for sure. I like him a lot. I fully expect him and Penta to like to team up again and probably end up being like tag again. So,
Juicy.
Whew.
Goodness, bro.
Stephen Brown, my goodness, sir.
Wild.
My goodness, kind of wild. And then of course the finale, like Seth Heyman, the whole double, betrayal, like classic. Even with all the way for handing Roman the chair, the poetic chair, and then and I love the whole he had to do this. I'm just so
yeah. Why do you get up in there?
Like,
that's such an over dramatic, like, but it works, man. Like, it was dope, man. It was dope. So obviously that was night one. Favorite match of night two. What do you guys got?
That triple threat match with the women to start that off was dope.
Yeah,
that was a good start.
I wish the Cody match didn't have to be the main event because that should have been the main event for that night too. Especially after that Cody match ended. But that was for me. That was probably the highlight of night two. Was that match? Was the international match? International.
Intercontinental?
Thank you. Was that night one or night two?
That was night two. Night two,
okay.
Yes.
Night two.
Okay, so that might have been also a tie for the best match because
those were good.
Dominic winning that deservedly because he's probably been the top heel for a few years, and he deservedly got that. And now we're starting to see that splinter of the Judgment Day. We already got Finn Balor talking about his stuff, and then they brought back JD yesterday, right?
Yeah, Raw. Yeah.
So we're probably gonna see Finn Balor tomorrow. We're part of Judgment Day soon. I mean, that's coming up. I don't understand the whole Lyra Valkyria Becky Lynch.
Still explain that to you people?
No, I understand your explanation, but I'm saying the way that they did this, it makes no sense story-wise.
It does. It just hasn't played out yet. That's the thing. It's like if you look at it in the context of right now, I get it. If you look at it in the context of she comes back, her and her husband, which now they're combining real life with part of the storyline. Their whole plan the whole time was to turn heel. But because her ego is so huge, she wanted a belt. So she used her friend. She took out Bayley. She used her friend to get the belt in the tag team, right? Comes on Raw. In her eyes, because she's a heel, her friend loses the belt, which makes her look bad in one day. So a heel, of course, can't take that it's a reflection of her. So she takes out her friend, and at some point she joins Heyman's stable. I get it. Like it's totally understandable in my eyes.
Thought this through.
Huh?
I understand that, but
you thought this through.
I did, man. Like I kind of saw it.
But that whole thing with her, the whole thing with her injuring Bayley is the same story we just got with Naomi and Jade.
That's WWE in a nutshell.
All over again.
They do that all the time.
Yeah,
like that's what they do.
We're still sort of in the middle of the Naomi Jade thing. Like we were just finishing that. Why would we run it again? That's my point. It's like you're just rerunning the same story back to back. It makes no sense.
Because it worked. We know what WWE does, right? If something works, they run it to the ground if they can. Sure. So it worked. Yeah. Basically, WrestleMania ended the Naomi Jade thing, as far as we know. Maybe not, but as far as I saw it, was an ending. And then now they got the same thing on Raw. So that's how I saw it, man. Like, and maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe they flip it somehow and make it something else. But that's how I see it. So I didn't have a problem with it. I get it. I get the one night thing, but I just feel like because if they don't do that, then I feel the way you feel, where it's like, all right, what the hell was the purpose of it then? If it was just to turn her like a regular heel, then you didn't need to do all that.
Or if you're going to do that and you're going to make it that she's matching and get a belt, don't give her the belt for one day. Make her lose at WrestleMania. And that's a bigger disgrace for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have had her maybe lose at Mania and then cut a promo with her and she turns or something.
Yeah.
But when they lost the titles on Raw, I was like, oh, something's happening.
Yeah,
This ain't
for
right.
sure.
And then, yeah.
And then she was ruthless too. Like she kept going back
Oh,
in.
yeah.
Like just, I was like, okay, it's a full heel. It's not just
It
a
is.
hey, like sometimes they do the whole thing where the person gets mad, they beat them up, and then they leave, and then there's a whole drawn out until it becomes a full heel, right? Like my bad, and then it takes a couple instances. Oh, they went full on. Like nope.
Did you
So I'm
guys see
like,
the press conference with her and her daughter after Mania?
yes,
They had to get the cuteness out of the way first, then she
yeah.
could turn heel. Because
That
that was cute. That was cute.
and that was the great thing. Like that's made it even more like, oh yeah, she'll never turn heel. Like
Oh, that
no,
helped.
you don't even
Yeah.
think twice about it. And then even on Monday, like I think we're also we're just ready for anybody at this point to turn heel. So when Sammy had that look in his eye for half a second when Jay went up on the and I was like, oh, that's the heel look right there, man. Like, and he didn't do it. I was like, see, man, I'm jaded, man. I expect everyone to turn heel at some point.
At some point.
Yeah, so and I guess Orton works. I mean, he's got to prolong the whole. I guess the rest of the. I guess he's the next one right now, just to, because I guess what is it that's next that it's in Randy Orton's hometown? I guess the next PLE.
Backlash.
Yeah, so I guess, man, like I get it. Maybe he's going through all his old rivalries or something. I don't know.
He might be coming towards the end soon. He might be going on a last run these last few years, probably for Randy. But he looks in
Yeah,
great
that's
shape,
true.
so who knows?
Yeah, it's a great shape, all right.
Could
And
we
he got
see
the Barry
Randy?
Bond. He got that Barry Bonds
he got
workout.
that Barry. He got that Barry. Him and AJ Styles.
Jesus Christ, man.
Could we
never
see
seen
Randy Orton go for Cena's belt?
So here's
As,
the thing. Supposedly, I read an article this morning that officially, and I didn't go look, officially on WWE's site that the belt is considered retired. So I don't know what that means because I didn't even understand like dealing with KC talking about it, where I was like, but dude, it's not like he can still lose it in his next whatever days. Like they can force him to defend the belt whether he wants to or not. There's general managers for a reason. I mean, come on, man. Like, what are we talking about? So I don't. That's the confusion for me is how is it retired if he's still gonna wrestle? Like, you tell me he's not wrestling Randy for the belt? Like, it's just you got to make it for the belt or it means nothing. Like, what's the point? So
that kind of feels like this. Maybe that's what they're going for. Is someone's got to get the belt from him before he retires it, type of deal.
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna save the belt? Like, so that'll be interesting.
Or is it at some point he starts reconciling, turns good at some point towards the end, and that's when he retires with the belt. So it does become officially retired, but it's with the good Cena, so it's okay. I don't know, man. I'm trying to figure out this. After that whole Rock thing, I don't get where they're going, and maybe that's what they want.
Yeah, nobody really knows what's going on with them right now.
It's all dependent on what the final boss wants.
But I loved Raw. Like I thought Raw was phenomenal. Like it's probably the
Better
best
than
Raw.
Night 2.
Yeah, it was better than Night 2, if you ask me. Like, I mean, the surprises and I know I wrote it down. It's like what we had. We had obviously Orton RKO'd Cena. Rusev came back in shape.
Yeah,
he looked really lean. I don't know what you do with the character. I don't know, man. Like he's never to me been like this phenomenal wrestler, but he's played the good like Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov type character. So I don't know. I don't know what you actually.
I guess Lana's back with him. She signed a deal with WWE too, so maybe she'll show up at some point.
Yeah, she signed a Legends deal. So I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means as far as her participating or whatever.
It's the same deal that Tasha signed to be on our show.
There you go. There it goes. But hers is a lifetime contract. Kind of like not the Leezy where I rip up my contract after I leave the show thing, but
Oh,
yeah.
You mean
Leezy
after
seems
Leezy
losing right
paid
now.
the boom and then said he was gonna what?
Yeah.
Leezy's team's losing right now.
Oh, he's Well, according to Lee's, he's weekly. He's got like a 10-day contract. He's got a lifetime 10-day contract. So in
Just
10
signed in
days,
a
he
bunch
might
of 10
change team.
days.
Yeah, he just signed a lifelong 10-day contract.
Jeez,
Um,
man. Come
Johnny G,
on.
I actually agree on. I hope they give this Karrion Cross a push because
I
the
like him.
last 3 Karrion Cross identities they give him been crap. But this one where he's
The
like,
promo?
yeah, that
was
was good.
Yeah, he's been doing a good job backstage with a bunch of stuff.
Thought it
What's
said
the promo that they've been showing?
Which one?
The one after the press, like at the press
They've
conference.
been
one?
doing this one on every show where it's like smoke and like it's like supposed to show up on the 20. It's supposed to be something on Friday.
Aleister Black.
Is that what it is?
Aleister-
Okay, I wasn't
Yeah,
100% sure. Okay,
It's
okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Aleister Black coming.
No, I
back.
think you're right. I just wasn't sure. Okay.
Yeah, it was that smoke coming up, and it showed the date. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I hinted towards, but I wasn't 100%.
Yeah.
And then I did like the EO. I always mess up her last name. God damn it, I'm Latino too.
Io Sky.
No, EO, and then she wrestled on Monday night. She wrestled
Vicaria.
Vicaria, and then obviously
Backer.
Johnny's
Stephanie
favorite
Backer.
girl, and Perez came and
Oh.
interfered.
Yeah. Johnny was hyped for that match.
Oh, he that's his girl, man. That
his
is
little
his
hand
girl.
was.
Oh, his little hand was just like
Wow.
just shaking. Couldn't even hold anything while she was wrestling.
He had to correct us. Backer.
Yeah. No, I am not Puerto Rican, although I have been known to hang out with a bunch of them.
People call me Puerto Rican, but I'm not.
Oh, I used to get that in Chicago all the time. Even here a couple times. Yeah, but again, man, I thought Raw was great. Like you said, I thought it was better than the second night. Zabel, is there anything you're looking forward to going forward that you see kind of playing out?
I'm just kind of interested to see where they go with the whole retiring the belt thing. Like, is Cena really gonna take it or not? And just seeing like some of the new guys, like what happens with Rusev and Aleister Black coming back. I'm interested in that. So that'll be fun.
Kyron?
I don't know if there's any one particular storyline. I am glad that Io Sky kept the belt. I felt that helps legitimize her reign right now because there was so much focus on Rhea Ripley and Bianca. I was like, if she lost, it just makes Io having the belt worthless. So I'm glad to keep it, and it makes her, it gives her a chance to actually shine, and I like that. So outside of that, I mean, everything we talked about, I'm just looking forward to see how the storylines end up on.
Yeah, I think right now is one of their their talent is so heavy right now. There's so much talent. I don't know if the one thing I don't like, I don't know if they proportioned it correctly between Raw and SmackDown. I think they might need to do a draft again and get some storyline. I don't know. I think there's a bunch of people too that are like, I was afraid for Nia for a minute, but I heard that she's hurt. I heard that roast was kind of wild.
Oh, yeah, you heard that roast?
Yeah, I didn't hear it, but I heard it was kind of wild.
Clip.
Yeah, they said they'll never release it. So that tells you everything you need to know. I heard she went in on Charlotte and caused some waves, but it's a fucking roast, man. I mean, goddamn. It's the whole purpose of a roast. Anybody ever watched a roast before? So,
hey, Tiffany Stratton roasted Charlotte before that too.
Yeah.
So
I am interested I'm interested to see where they go with Tiff, especially after this kind of, I won't say flop, but like this was kind of rough for her. It kind of reminded me of like the Damian Priest at first, and when they yanked the belt from him because he basically wasn't ready. I think Tiff is more ready. I think that was more on Charlotte's bag than anything. But I like to see where they take it now with her, and then also like Rhea. What does Rhea do now? What does Belair do? I'm assuming it's her and Jade at some point go at it. So all that, like I think there's a lot of potential for a lot of great stories. It's just, I mean, they're calling up people too. Like they're saying Roxanne's going to get called up. Swerve at some point will get called up. So, like somebody mentioned, like, oh, here's a good one.
Wait,
yeah,
Swerve being called up from AEW?
Oh, not Swerve. My bad.
I was about to say Swerve.
Yeah, my bad. Not Swerve. What's his
Are you
name?
talking about Trick Williams?
Yeah, now they're gonna tell me I
Right?
think all black people look alike. But yeah, Trick Williams. My bad. Um, but like, so here's the question before we kill this segment because Katrina's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So if there's one more person,
Really?
because if you got to add one more person to this stable, right? Like, and let's just say it's not Becky. Like, that's the easy answer. Who would you like to see become basically this new version of Evolution?
Bianca.
What'd you say?
I want to see Bianca do it. I want Bianca to go heel, and because if
That'd
you
be
think about it,
crazy.
she's the only one that's being left out of everything now. She's always going to be overlooked by Rhea, so you have that grudge match going on there. I want to see Bianca just be like, you know what, F this. I did everything for the company. Give me my dues.
Zabel?
I was thinking maybe Karrion somehow with his whole shtick going on could join them. That was my out of left field prediction.
Somebody said this early. Like I saw somebody write this, and at first I was like, I don't know, but I could see it work, especially because I don't know what they're going to do with him. Carmelo. I'm wondering if Carmelo can work with that because he's so skilled. Like I like him a lot. And I feel like they made him the joke at first when he got, when they brought him up, and I was afraid that he was going to get lost. But with that last win he had, I'm like, okay, so they do, they are trying to keep him relevant. They are, keeping him in the mix. So I wonder if that can work with that faction.
Well, like you're saying
Andre
about
the
Trick
Giant,
Williams,
so he might be cursed.
Yeah, that's true.
You're saying about them bringing up Trick Williams. I feel like that's the same thing that's going to happen if they bring up Trick Williams right now. He's just going to be lost with the shuffle of how much talent they have.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like you said, Carmelo was killing it at NXT, and then he comes up and they can't find a good place for him. They had that long stint with him and Andrade, and it's like, all right, that was cool the first 2 times. I don't need to see this 6 times. You do something different with him.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, and like Zabel just mentioned, but then they have him win the Andre the Giant, thing, and like I know that's just a thing they do, but that can be given to anybody, and they gave it to him. So like to me, that's almost saying like you have plans for him. Like there's something that you put him in the spotlight for them. There's a reason why you did that. So I'm curious about that. Like I'm curious to see what they do with that. So,
Tasha, who was your favorite Andre the Giant winner?
What was that?
What was your favorite Andre the Giant winner before? You told us before. Who was it again?
Me?
I like
Really?
Mojo Rawley.
Oh,
like Andre.
Oh no.
Andre 3000.
I'm trying to follow you.
We're good. So no, like I said, it was a great weekend, man. Like overall, I think I don't think it was as bad as I saw a lot of people post it to be. Even I was at first at the end of. I think it was because of the sour note of that final match. It was like, man, this is hot garbage, bro. Like,
that sucked.
Yeah, and then Raw even because that was in Vegas. I'm like, shit, I'd be mad if I paid for day 2, and then that Raw happened. I'm like, shit, I could have saved my money.
All those prices?
Yeah, like I could have went to Raw. Shoot.
Yeah.
Paid probably half the price. It probably still was expensive, but half the price of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Sure. So
I did see a video of people like waiting in line and like walking up an escalator.
Oh yeah, that was the only one, and they were falling down it. That was the first time
I missed that
exercise.
I was like, what?
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy. Vegas would have been a good one to go to since it was so close, but. And then someone sent me a picture. I think it was Spencer sent me a picture. They had like instead of Frosted Flakes, they had Yeet Flakes. It was like the Jey Uso.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I wish I could have got that box, man. That would have been dope for the collection. That would have been dope. And I'm glad he won. Like, yeah, he's put in I want to say this. His chant right now to me is on par with the Yes chant. Like that's where it's at. Like it's that over. And it's crazy. And that's probably the last time I seen that. Like, there's the popular, but like where you're literally the first 10 minutes before even the match, they're doing it over and over, and everybody's like invested. Everybody's invested in it. Like it's.
Did
crazy.
You go to Raw? That was here. Did you go to the Raw here?
No.
No. When he came out, we were like one section over from when he was coming down the steps. And it
Okay.
was the entire crowd was going crazy. I
Yeah.
hadn't seen it like that in a minute.
Yeah. Like I said, I think that's the first thing I thought about was the Daniel Bryan yes chant and how crazy that was. And since then, I don't think I've seen anything like it until now. Like this is on
Yeah.
par with that yes chant, and that's crazy. So, yeah, man. Zabel, I know you got to get ready. You got to take your girl to work. So we appreciate you stopping on through. Next time you got to come through for a full episode so we can talk about everything. But we'll talk and get you on, man.
For sure. Thank you for having me on. It was fun, and
Always,
hopefully I
bro.
come again soon. Run your game.
Ah! All right, man.
Fine.
Peace.
Peace out.
All right, so I found out what it was we said a couple weeks ago. It was hasten your activity.
Hasten your activity. I'm getting that T-shirt with Zabel's face on it. Hasten your activity. There you go. Put it on a shirt. All right, guys. Back to your regularly scheduled program. That was cool. Appreciate you again, Zay, for coming on. Let's go. At least it was good. It was good stuff before we have to get to the crappy stuff. Right. So, I mean, hey, man, season came to an end with a big thud.
Yeah, we were live when it happened.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Monty gone within hours.
I did get that birthday beam though on Sunday.
There you go. Salute to that.
Yes.
Yeah. Scott Perry, without even the seat being cold, already general manager. Talk about, man, any other company, man, you would have got sued. Like, you ain't do no interviews, no nothing. You just hire, no affirmative action. Jesus Christ, man. Okay. But, you know, that's the sports world. So we saw the press conference today. What'd you guys think about that?
That was cool. He won me over like immediately. I was like, vibes, all vibes, positive. I like what he had to say. I'm hopeful again.
I'm hopeful again.
I'm hopeful again.
Oh, you a sucker, girl.
I'm holding out hope. Because I remember when we hired Monty and he came in with his vest and everyone was like, oh, he's got a vest? What? Well, that's different. So
yeah.
No.
And there's nothing he could say today. You know, either way, he can't give us a plan as far as what he's going to do. He can't tell us what's happening with the coach. Mm-hmm. So this was just like hey, how you doing? My name's Scott. You know, nice to meet you. So I don't want to be like her that way and be hopeful.
You don't want to be hopeful?
I'm tired of being hopeful. This team's made me hopeful so many years and brought us down. I'm tired of being hopeful. I want to be confident that this is the right move, and I don't know yet.
Yeah, tell myself what's up. I think I'm on that. Like I mean, he came out, he was great, very personable, charismatic, said all the right things, showed personality, which is great. I'm familiar with his work. He's done some good work in the league for organizations, which is great. I'm jaded with the whole organization. So that's cool and everything. But my whole thing is still, how much influence does Vivek have at the end of the day? Is it truly Scott Perry's decisions on everything, or is that just a ruse? But I said it earlier to, I forgot who I was watching it on playback with Chewy in the Kingdom, and you know, I did after commenting after it on his stuff, and it's like, for me, man, it all comes down to watching the first couple moves, the draft. Yeah. Even if I understand we might not have a first round pick, cool, but still, do you do anything with that second round pick? Do you make any moves to move into the first round? And if you do, who do you target? What kind of position? All that. And then really, even with that, even if you got that right, I'd still be like, all right, cool. My big thing is when this summer hits and you're having the Sabonis talks, the Demar talks, like all the players, like I get that first move to me is going to mean everything, and not just about who you trade. I don't really care. Do what you got to do, whoever it is. I got to see what you get in return, and that'll tell me everything I need to know. Whether it's you're just plug and playing, whether you're really resetting everything, in which if that's what it is, hey, it's your team. I'm not even going to criticize that. Like for me, it's like you do whatever you think is right. If you think this needs to be like overhauled completely, cool. I will be more than willing to let this next year ride if that's what the plan is, and just to see, because there's no guarantee. We've tried it every other way, so do what you got to do, right? So that's what I'm really interested to see what he does with the so-called stars of this team, the guys that are, the $40 million, $50 million people. So,
like you're saying, you want to know how much influence Vivek has on a team going forward. I think those first couple of moves, we're going to know right away, is this a Vivek move or is this a Scott Perry move? And I think we'll be able to see, like, okay, is Demar still here? Was there any rumblings about Demar being moved? If yes, then we know that's the Scott Perry move. If we haven't heard anything about Demar possibly being moved, that's Vivek's influence right there, I would think.
Yeah, for sure.
I really want to know what he's going to do with Domas. Because Domas has value. And I know we said that you can't move Levine, and DeMar's going to be pretty hard to move. But you can probably get something for Domas. Depending on the direction you're going, you could get at least a couple of picks for him. So if you're trying to do a rebuild like some of us have wanted, that would be probably the first stop. Because obviously Keegan's going nowhere for some reason. And there isn't really anybody else on the team that most players that we can get good value out of on the trade market.
What do you think, Katrina?
Yeah, I just want to see what he does, what that first move is. I mean, obviously, first, it sounds like he's going to make the decision about a coach. That's really interesting. To me, what he said and his values and his thought process sound a lot like Doug. But then also saying that he has a couple other people that he's been talking to, that he's been getting constant calls since accepting the job. Like, I'm curious as to what's going to go down with the coaching position first, and then what's going to happen after that. I was wondering, like, the whole thing about this right here, all those comments on his podcast about Levine, what your thoughts are about that, if you think it was just...
What do you think, Karen?
I mean, I think he was being honest on it, and I think he doesn't see true value, especially as far as what Levine is being paid for. But we've said for the longest time, it's Levine out of everybody is going to be hardest for us to move because of his age and because of his contract. So I don't see, even if he doesn't want him here, how do you move him?
Yeah. Oh, you can't move Levine. He's unmovable, right? He's more movable after next year when it's 1 year and it's an expiring deal. Right now, he's not movable. Like, that's just what it is. I think it was, who brought up, was that Sean that brought up that question on the first? I think it was Sean that asked him about, which was great because it was like, hey, everybody wants to know. Like, everybody's watched the video multiple times. And to his credit, he didn't shy away from the question, and he answered it, I think, as diplomatically as he could. He said he talked to Zach, which is probably the best thing he could have done, is reach out to him before it got all blown out of proportion. And I mean, I get it. Like, I don't want to say I told you so, but I've been talking about this since day one about Zach. Like, and I'm the same. Like, I don't dislike him. It's just he does this Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde stuff all the time. He's been doing that. And, as much as people want to give James Ham slack, get on him about, his Zach opinion, he hasn't said anything that's wrong so far about Zach. Like, he doesn't play defense. You do have to. He's right. You do have to be people behind him to cover him. Like, and he hasn't really. If you're not going to have shot blockers or intimidating people behind you, because let's be honest, Domas does as well as he can defensively, but he's not a rim protector. He's not. He doesn't put the fear of God into anybody coming to the hole. Like, it is what it is. So.
And going back to what you were saying, that this year we can't move Zach, but next year we can. I'm looking at his contract, and next year he has a player option for $49 million, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do we think he's not going to pick that up?
No, he's picking it up.
Okay.
Yeah. He'd be a dumbass not to pick up $49 million. Like, unless he was like so miserable that he was agreeing to a buyout or something, thinking he could get money somewhere else. But, and I know you said you think, and I'm not disagreeing in totality. I do think that Sabonis has value, but he is such a specific type of player. And it's an old school type of player, right? That I don't think he works out. He definitely does not work out everywhere. So there's only certain places I think that would really go after him. And at $40 million a year, even that's a big, if it was 25, 30, I think it's a little bit more palatable for a lot of teams. But asking someone to pick up a $40 million contract for what is most likely your second or third best player, that's a lot, man, unless he's just that one missing piece, right? Like, the best thing, like in this series right now, like Golden State, Houston, if Houston, which doesn't look like it's going to happen, but if Golden State could have swept Houston, where they just look like, oh, we got to do something, like in the offseason, like, so Bonus, I think, would work out great there. Places like that, or even Demar. Like, I think Demar has a lot of value in places like Houston, and but he's another specific type of player that only certain teams are really going to be looking to get. So either way, whether it's Sabonis or DeMar, it's just you got to find the right team that's willing not only to take the contract, but give you what you need in return. Unless, again, Scott Perry is just like, let's just crash this whole thing, and he just wants draft picks back in return and not actual players, then, again, that'll tell us exactly where his head is for the upcoming season. Whatever it is, I'm in. Like, whatever it is, man, like, I'm going to give you the opportunity to shine and see what you have, going behind that brain. So, I don't know. We'll see, man.
You're hopeful too, huh?
I'm so hopeful.
So hopeful.
So, I mean, I am hopeful. I just won't let myself get all – I got two teams that don't know what the fuck they're doing. So,
how long do you guys hold on to that hope? Like, if the team comes out and goes 10-15 next season.
Oh, I won't be like, go F yourself. I can't take that. Unless you traded away everybody and you just got draft picks back, like, cool, go lose as much as you want, man. Like, it's part of the process. Like, it's a horrible word nowadays, but it's part of the process. So fine. But if you're still looking at, let's say they only trade DeMar away and they get a point guard or whatever it is they're looking for, and it's still basically, for the most part, the same team except for a couple players plug and play, and then you go 10-15, then it's like, oh, hell no. I'm not watching this, man.
Yeah.
I'm not watching this. Like, no. So, yeah, if you're going to keep core there, then I need to see something right out the gate. But if you're saying, hey, man, we're restarting, cool, man. I'm in. That's what you want to do. I mean, can't be any worse. I guess it could be, but
who is your we have to keep player on the team? If you guys have to, I know Tasha's like Malik Monk every time, all day, every day. But is there anybody else besides that you guys think we have to keep him no matter what? And Chad, if you guys want to enter in a comment, who you guys think it, I'd be willing to hear that too.
Keon.
That's your key player?
No.
So Malik and Keon?
I think they need to keep Keon.
Okay.
Wow.
Domas?
for me with Keon, I think you have to keep him if you're still planning on trying to contend next year or, get into the playoffs, all that. But I think like if you're resetting everything, like he's a useless player. Like he's not a cornerstone to a rebuilding team. He's somebody that you need in a championship run.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my opinion. Like, so I would rather be like, yo, if you can get somebody to take him and get a pick back for him, like, cool.
Yeah.
Keon just on his burner listening to this talk about I'm useless.
I don't think he is, but I don't know if I have a player though. Like, who is Malik. For me, it's Malik, man. I really do want to let him. I don't know where their head is with him. I don't know. I have a feeling, especially after Scott Perry's comments today, that he will move back to being sixth man again. And I think that's unfortunate in a lot of ways because I don't think he ever really got a full. I would like to give him. I would love if they decide to rebuild. I would love to see him just start at point guard and get a full year under his belt as a point guard and let him learn the ropes like that. But I don't know if that'll ever happen. So I still want him though. Like I still love the dude. I love his passion. He wants to be here, which is one of the biggest things. And I think if you got rid of somebody like him, I don't think that's a good look for your team in the eyes of everybody around the league. So I almost think that he has to be almost one of your cornerstones at this point. And after that, I would love to tell you Sabonis, but going back to what the argument at the end of D'Lo and Casey today, or I wouldn't even say argument, but the discussion about how Zach gets unfairly, talked about regarding being in only one playoff and this and that. I do think they have a point there with Sabonis, like overall performance wise, and whether you want to, and you have to add in the playing game. Like it's been suspect. Regular season's cool and everything, but if you're just a regular season player, like $40 million for that,
that was disappointing last Wednesday. Not seeing Sabonis show up because he's been that consistent piece for the most part all season, and
that's the thing, right? Because the argument that Ham was making, as far as, and this is where I disagree with him, the argument about, well, if you put the right pieces around him, I get that, Ham. You're right. In the grand scheme of the team and their success, yes. But when you're in a one-game playoff, and you're getting 40, I hate to bring it up, but you're getting $40 million a year. And if you got to count on everybody to be a perfect situation for you to succeed, then you need not to be paid $40 million.
Yeah.
Because that's things you expect out of $20 million player. Like if you're a cornerstone of the franchise, even if you lose that game, you need to come out of that game with 24 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. And then I'm good, man. Like you did everything you could. It just, it does go back to not the right pieces around you. But for no showing, nah, bro, no. I need you to go out swinging. And that's the thing. Nobody's criticizing him because, he didn't get them to win that game. It's that he no-showed for the game. So, no. You can't. That can't be because of your Robins. And that one game, you need to be Batman. I don't care.
Yeah.
And it's too often with him also. It's too many games we just see him disappear, sort of like Egan. We just don't know if he's going to be there every game. So, like you said, for that amount of money, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, for sure. So, that's the one part. Like, I know James is so adamant of defending that dude, and I get it. Like, I will not put this whole team's failures on his back. Like, it's not just him. But again, like when it comes to those situations, and like Damian, like D'Lo said, like he's capable of more. We get it. That's not him. Fine. But I need you for this one game to do that. And then you could go back to whatever it is you were going to be after that. But if you don't see the urgency while you're going down 10, 12, 13, 15, if you don't see the urgency in that moment to be like, F it. Like, I know this is not me, but I'm going to do everything in this moment to try my best, whether it succeeds or doesn't, then yeah, bro, goes back to the $40 million again. Like, you don't need $40 million a year because that's not what they're paying you to be. So, but they paid him. That's what it is. Zach getting 50, Demar's getting whatever. What's Demar getting? Like, I think he's the least paid of the three, right? Like
Let's see.
which is crazy because he probably in that game he had 33. Like, he came to play that game. You might not like his ISO ball all the time, but he had 33 points in that game.
He's getting 23 this year, 24 next year, and 25. So yeah,
he should be the one with the $50 million contract if you're going to take one out of the three. To be honest, like, I looked at that. That was the first thing I looked at after that game. I was like, let me just look at everybody's numbers real quick, right? Because the game was kind of a blur, right? We were doing the show and everything. I was like, bro came to play. Like, I don't care if some of those came later. All I know is he dropped 33 on their ass.
Yep.
That's what I know. So he came to play. That's what you need to do, man. Like, and it sucks that he's the one that probably has to go because of the way the contracts are structured, to be honest. But it's just what it is, man. It's the way the organization backwards asses, did things. So, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to be here anymore. Like, I think and I can't blame him for that. So, yeah.
Wouldn't it be wild if they got a new coach and this is like Demar's third coach in a year?
Yeah. So here's the other thing. I'm glad you brought up coaching. So one of the purposes of listening to that press conference today is I tried to listen really closely to the way he worded a bunch of things. And one of the things that he said, and I quoted it on a tweet, I think he said, whoever's the coach, right? Which I understand, like, there's a coaching search, all that. But I also think, like, if he was set on Doug, this would have been the time to be like, Doug's the coach. I could talk to a bunch of people. That's fine. But, that's my guy going for, like, and it wasn't. So that tells me that he isn't, not to say Doug can't be or won't be the coach, but he definitely is going to do a coaching search. And, we talked about it and somebody mentioned, that's what they're supposed to do. Oh, I get that. But they didn't do it for the general manager. Why break your cycle now? Like, just for the coach? You didn't do it with the general manager. You didn't interview people for general manager. So, yeah, I'm not. In my eyes, I don't think Doug is. I mean, I hope he is. I don't think Doug's going to be the coach. I think Scott's going to handpick somebody, let them obviously build their staff and whatever it is. Unfortunately, I don't think Doug's going to be here. So. What do you guys think?
I'm with the whole thing of let's do the press conference, let's wait a week, and then make that announcement, like some sort of break in between. I'm feeling pretty strongly that it's going to be Doug.
Okay.
But I definitely could be wrong because I know Scott has a lot of connections. I'm curious as to who you guys think he may be talking to. Who else he may be considering. I heard Taylor Jenkins was possibly it, but
yeah, if it's not Doug, for me, I don't. Yeah, to me, it's like just wide open. If it's not Doug, I think that's another decision that'll show a lot about Scott Perry, like who he picks.
Yeah,
whether he goes veteran, because I think, like, again, I think it does. If you say it's Doug, in my eyes, I'm like, you might be rebuilding. Maybe you keep a young coach and let him work from the ground up. Or if it's not Doug and you go veteran, let's just say it's 90% sure it's not him, but Mike Malone somehow comes out of the woodworks because of his relationship with Scott. Like, then I'm like, Mike's not coming here to coach rookies. He's coming because Scott's telling him we're going for it. So it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where my head is with it. Kyron?
I mean, I think depending on if we keep Doug, I feel like that's a Vivek decision. And that's going to tell us exactly, like we were mentioning, how much influence does Vivek have in everything that's going on. If Doug is back here next year, it's got to be Vivek's decision because Scott Perry has no connection to Doug Christie. And I don't know how you could watch the way the team played, especially towards the latter end of the season, where we just faltered with this group and just think, oh, yeah, Doug Christie, that's the right choice right there. If he brings in somebody else, then we know that Scott Perry has all his hands on this. If Vivek's letting him do what he wants to do, and I think that's if we're going to rebuild, I say get a coach in here that knows how to rebuild, that knows how to run a team. If we're not going to rebuild or run it back, then I don't know, man. I just don't like this team. No matter what I say, I can't convince myself to like this team. Just the way it's built, I just can't do it.
Do you guys? So, as quick as Monty was let go and Scott was hired, my initial thought was, you've known this for a while that Scott, like you got, it's unethical in a lot of ways, but it is what it is in the business. So I wonder if Scott's already, kind of put his list together of coaches like for a month, 2 months, whatever it is, when Vivek was like, I'm done with Monty. And shout out to Monty if he knew about it and just went along with it, And maybe that was part of it with Vivek. Like, hey, if you don't say anything, stay till the end of this reign, and then, or I could fire you right here on the spot like maybe let's say 2 months when the De'Aaron Fox shit went haywire.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think he's been out since then.
Yeah.
If Monty didn't know he was out, that's fucked up on Vivek's part.
Well,
for stringing him along, and then having interviews with other people behind his back, that's just messed up.
Well, run it back to Mike Brown. How did that go? That was pretty messed up.
Hey, Mike.
What do you expect?
Since you still have a year left of pay, you want to come back?
You want to come back?
It's a new management, man. It's okay, bro. You're already getting paid anyway. Mike be like, I'm going to need another 10. I'm going to need another 10 on top of that 10.
And then Demar's like, I'm out of here.
Wild, man.
And Sabonis.
I'm not even showing up for camp.
And
wild organization, man. Wild organization.
And we choose to back them all the time. Just willingly, we choose to back this team.
It's hard not. I mean, I get what. I mean, I say you guys, but I'm kind of part of it now too. I'm kind of like drawn in.
Kind of are.
Yeah, it's
kind of are.
I see it, man. I hate to do like the comparisons, but like because it's technically after 6 championships, but like I just remember those lean years after that where they couldn't get any free agents and they were terrible. Like they probably won like 20 games on average every year. Tim Floyd, Bill Cartwright as coaches, but I never maybe because they had gotten the 6 with Mike. I was like, all right, man. I'd still watch every single game. It was brutal because they were never in it. But I was a Bulls fan, so I was like, bro, I'm not. It is what it is, man. I'm not jumping ship. And then it went on for like 10, 15 years. It was like, well, for a while until Derrick Rose showed up, and it's like, yeah. But like with you guys, like it's just different. There's been an ineptness for so long. And I think it almost would have been better if Beam Team 1 never happened because it would just kept the same tread. And it was just that year gave so, the joy. They
gave us hope again.
Yeah, gave you hope. And because they still were young, it was like, all right, man, we're going to be good for the next 6 to 10 years. Like it's finally, our organization is back where it was supposed to be and blah, blah, blah. And it was like, nope.
And I think also go back to the 2002, 2003 team and how much do we as a city hang on that team? We all think back to that, even though we didn't win anything with that team, we think it's the greatest team ever because we haven't had anything else besides that.
Mm-hmm. I think that's why you guys grasp on, and I do wrestle with not making fun of people sometimes, but I get it. It's like, I don't want to be that ass, but if one player comes through these damn doors and plays good for 5 games, and this goes back into my next conversation for you guys, and I really want to hear it because I've sat back and watched this whole Davion Mitchell conversation on Twitter for the last 4 to 5 days, and it's where I venomously disagree with Will Z on this, and it's fine. I mean, agree to disagree. They didn't make a mistake by letting him go. He did not fit on this team as it was currently constructed. maybe if it was a different team, the way Miami was constructed, he didn't even make it through to Toronto.
Yeah.
Like he literally got traded. Like, so obviously Toronto didn't see any, like, at least at that point, like he wasn't a focal point for them. Like, because he struggled in Toronto, just like he had struggled here. He struggled in Miami too. He just seemed to have come alive. And I think Miami's a great place for somebody. I think it's structured perfectly for his skill set, what they emphasize there defensively. Like he's a perfect fit for that team. So I love the dude. I hope he becomes an all-star there. Like I hope he does great. That was not going to happen here. It just wasn't, man. Like you can't look at what somebody does somewhere else and say that translates in every play. You know, like it just doesn't. Like there is, if it did, it'd be easy to plug and play, right? Like, so like that, or the kind of, not Wilsey, like Wilsey, I get what he was saying. I read his article, it made sense. I just disagree with it. But it was other people on Twitter, they were like just going buck wild about not Davion being gone and what a travesty. It's like, bro, that's the best. You should be happy for that dude. That's the best thing that could have happened to his career because he would have ended up in the G League here. Yeah. Like, for real, man. He would have ended up in the G. He'd have been on the Stockton Kings championship team. That would have been where he would have been.
And then Mason Jones.
Yeah.
No, but I get it because there was no way Davion would become the Davion he is in Miami here in Sacramento. We already had Fox. We had Keon that everybody loved also. Even Malik Monk was taking PG minutes. So there's no way he could develop like that. And I think it also hurts that we got nothing for him when we traded him.
Yeah. That's what it is. That more than anything is where it hurts. Not that he got traded. Like, again, I think it was better for both sides at that point. Like, you know, but yeah, to just get like it basically being a write-off. Like, bro, it's a first-round pick. It's a top 10 pick that you just traded for a write-off, for a tax write-off. Like,
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, for a second-round pick and Jalen McDaniel, who's not even in the league. I mean,
and you cannot. I understand his value wasn't the greatest at the time, but you can't convince me that's the best you could have got for him. Like, you just ain't like no. So again, it goes back to the organization and their moves. God bless their hearts, drafting all these point guards that aren't even on the team anymore, and we need a point guard. So.
Didn't they just have too many? And we were like, no, couldn't keep one.
Monty knew something.
Again, it always makes me, I think I said it before on a previous show, but there was a year where like Minnesota drafted 3 point guards in the first round and none of them ended up working out.
Was that the Johnny Flynn and
yes,
Ricky Rubio draft? Yeah.
It was like three of them.
Back to back, right?
Yeah, there was 2 were back to back, and then one was like later in the round. And everybody was like, what the F are you doing? They had a stock load of picks, and then none of them panned out on that team. And it was
this whole mess. That whole mess.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Nick asked, will Keegan play for the Kings next season? I think we all agree he's going to be here, right?
Yeah. I don't. Even if you're rebuilding, he's part of that cornerstone. So, and you got to have at least one draft pick that sticks around. Jesus Christ, man. Like, yeah, Jesus.
We could try to get rid of him, just to get rid of the Monty era, just completely. Just
damn.
I mean, I don't think he's untouchable. Like, if you could actually get something good for him, I get it. But I will say, like, as much as I've criticized him in a lot of aspects, he is good for the team. He does do a lot of good things. I just think it came down to we sometimes what we want somebody to be, and when they're not that, we kind of knock them down a peg because that's what we wanted. But if you look at him in totality of what he is, and he's in what year is he in right now? 3rd year?
Yeah.
He's pretty good for a 3rd-year player overall. So, I mean,
I don't think it's the fact that he's pretty good. It's just, what is his upside from here? Is he going to be like this for the rest of his career? Or is there a chance that he can take another level and become at least a 2? Mm-hmm. And I don't think anything he's done has shown that he can be anything more than what he is right now.
No. I think you're right in a lot of aspects. I think he has a chance to get, but I just think like it's still so early in his career. The light just hasn't gone on yet. That's how I feel like. but he's improved in so many aspects in a lot of other different ways. I think he hasn't been stagnant. I will say that. Like, he's not what he was his first year is not what he is now. So obviously he's found ways to adapt in situations. Obviously, 3-point shooting wise, the first year seems to be been an aberration. That's not really what he was going to be. But I don't think we all thought he was ever going to stay at that pace. It would just been nice for him to not plummet either.
Right.
But he show flashes of being able to hit that three at times. So it's obviously there. He doesn't have an ugly shot or anything. So I don't know, man. That's just when he gets me is when he has those games where he goes to the hole so much, and then all of a sudden, next 6 games he refuses to go to the hole.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's the coaching. I don't know if that's because of who's on this team and the way everybody spaces out. I don't know, but it drives me insane.
Or when he's scared to shoot, because it feels like at the end of the season he refused to shoot. And I think we were kind of analyzing what was going on with him. If he was still in his head, if all the drama behind the scenes was getting to him.
I wonder how much Demar just not being happy, and even De'Aaron Fox just not really being happy with the team affects with that. Because there's got to be infighting with everybody saying, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? And the way Keegan's personality is, he's probably be like, oh, is this my fault? Am I shooting too much?
Yeah. That's a good point. I don't know if we'll ever really know the answer to that, but hopefully with this, again, with Perry coming in, whether it's Doug or a new coach, what I'm assuming is going to be changes in certain positions and players. Maybe the fresh start in itself will kind of kickstart Keegan a little bit, and maybe we'll see something new. I mean, DeRozan did say at the end of the season he's looking forward to working with Keegan in the offseason, so that's a good thing. I'd like to see him pick up some of DeMar's tendencies.
He said he's looking forward to working with Keegan. He didn't say working with Keegan while on a team.
Yeah,
team with Keegan.
As long as he just works with him, even if it's not on, if he would just work out with him, I'm good with that. Because players work out with other players from other teams all the time. So
exactly,
yeah. So that's true. Like, hopefully, man. Yeah.
What up, Zell?
Young Zell's in the chat.
I think he was. Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What do you guys think about it's a side note, but I saw people arguing today briefly about the beam and whether the beam needs to be shut down, which I think is the stupidest thing ever. But I don't care if you win 10 games. I need you to annoy the other team. Fuck it. It's a staple at this point.
Yeah.
Because once you shut it down, to me, you can't come back 2 years later if you're winning and be like, oh, we're going to no, it's either here or it's not here. Make a decision on it, whatever it is. For me, it's here. If it helps make other teams annoyed, I'm all for it, man. Y'all still got cowbells. You can still have a beam. So
that's true.
I'm in.
I broke that curse because that curse was 10, 11 games deep this season. Every game I went to, no beam until my birthday, that last game. So
plus, if we take out the beam, then that means Young Zell can't even, man, we got to keep the beam.
Yeah, no, gotta keep the beam.
That's how Young Zell got the anthem, man. We got to keep the anthem. Got to keep the anthem. But Young Zell, you slacked this year. Stilo called you out. We need a verse 2. We need that remix. We need the remix. So
we need the remix, and we need him to perform at halftime.
Yeah, that's it. We got
halftime
opening night.
We need to come up. We're gonna come up with some Zell. I'm gonna get with you. Chatty House gonna get with you. We gotta come up with a plan of a social media buzz, petition, all that. We're gonna do all that and find a way right before the beginning of the season to make it. We're gonna get. You know what we're gonna do too? We're gonna get media involved. We're gonna talk to what's his name? Matt George, all of them. Gaden. Why is the names just slipping my mind? We're gonna.
Names are hard.
Huh? It's all of them.
All of them, just all of them.
All
All
the
of
media.
All of them.
Especially, I don't want to say Kyle's favorite person because then he'll get too excited. But or is this who is the one that's always talking about Sarah?
Oh,
Oh, no.
Spencer?
Oh yeah. I don't want to get Spencer. Spencer will come up out of nowhere. So we're gonna get them all involved with it. They gotta say something on their program or something so that we can make it a movement. We're gonna make it a movement to get Zell on the halftime show. So that's one of our goals this off season. Get Zell on the halftime show. What happened?
Then do it then.
This dude always says something.
Hey,
He talks about he say that 2 years in. Where were you the last 2 years trying to do it? Come on, bro. He said he could score 30 on Sabonis. I'm done with you, Pose. I'm done with you, Pose.
He might be able to, honestly.
Simone's actually congratulations. Simone is working for the Republic right now. So congrats to her.
Nice.
She's working for the Republic now, so that's cool. We'll have to get her back on and talk about soccer.
Oh yeah, the streets are asking for another ladies' episode.
So that's what the streets want. That's what the streets get. So we'll get Jill on this time for sure.
I think that was our most watched episode.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons for that, but whatever.
Aaron, when we went live.
Oh yeah.
That was a good one.
That was crazy.
So, what you guys think about the Stockton Kings championship? Like, did that?
It was cool.
That was nice.
It was cool.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah. It sort of puts us on the same level as was at the California Classic Championship we won a couple years ago, or Summer League champion. I mean, it's nice.
So my only rebuttal to the whole thing was, and I'd never tweeted it because I was like, I'm just going to get backlash, so I'm not going to say it, and I don't want to be that asshole. It's just hard for me to get excited about a team that has a balding white man on it, and two guys that were probably over 40 years old. If it was what a G League is really supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be a farming system of your young talent that you can bring up at some point. And if that's what it was, for me, that's what the G League always should be. And because if that team won a championship, I'd be more excited because I'd be like, okay, that's some young talent that grew together, that maybe a couple of them will make it to the big leagues and do something where it's bro, the shooting guard looked like he was 55 years old. I can't get excited about this team. I'm sorry. I just can't. I'm happy for them as individuals. It's cool for the city of Stockton. It's a cool thing. But for me, it's a novelty. It's all right, man, half those guys are going to be out of the league. I just think they need the G League to go back to being a developmental league more than just the plug and plays that they've been doing with a lot of teams. And James Ham's talked about that too. They're not using the G League the way it should be being used. And if they go back to that, I'd be a little bit more excited to watch some of these guys play. But hey, man, kudos for them. They were actually exciting in a lot of those games because I think most of those games I watched, they were down by 10, 15 points every single game and found a way to win it in the fourth quarter. So kudos to them. Congratulations. That's still a great achievement for them. And I hope they get rings or something. I do hope that they get some kind of something so they can remember, because it is part of their career, right? Regardless if they make it to the league or not. So
when I was at the Sacramento Kings game, they kept showing the highlights of the Stockton Kings while the Sacramento Kings were losing to the Clippers. That was great.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was dope. Yeah.
Are you guys all going to the Stockton Kings parade?
Is there one?
I have no idea. I just thought it'd be funny.
I was what?
They already have it. No,
did they?
They should have had it already. Shoot.
Yeah. Clearly, no. None of it was oh.
So, what you guys think about the Demar incident?
Oh, in the club, or God, where was that?
I think he was having dinner somewhere.
At a sushi spot in Calabasas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get it, dude.
face. Like, it sounds like the dude ain't totally with it in the head. But yeah, don't get up in his face like that.
Yeah. Again, Demar was just sitting there. He just came and was like, "Hey, Demar, what you doing?" They try to keep me out. I was like, he's lucky he didn't get knocked out right away.
Mm-hmm.
Showing up in an ambulance, like, come on, bro, just trying to get paid. Like, don't walk up on somebody from Compton like that, bro.
No,
come on, man.
Don't walk up on anybody in a restaurant like that unless you know them.
Yeah, for sure. But
just doing that for clout in the ambulance. They were like, "Don't you want to drive yourself?" Like,
he's like, he took an Uber.
Yeah. No.
So ridiculous, man. Yeah, and it was very obvious. And like, while maybe somebody said this, and I kind of agree, like, well, maybe some of the reaction was a little bit over at, when you go back and look, it's like, I still was like, oh, I'm cool with it. Like, bro, y'all need to stop walking up on people like they owe you something.
Yeah.
Stop walking up. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just remember when we first had Ellie, we went to go eat at McCooney's. My mom was in town still it's like literally a week after we had the baby. We went to eat at McCooney's. The Kings had just got blown out by like 25, 30 points. And DeMarcus comes walking in with his entourage, the downtown McCooney's. And they walk, and in the corner, there's actually a private booth that has like they even put like what do you call it, like a little shade there. So if they just want privacy, right? So I took Ellie, but I mean, when I went, I was like, I literally like standing with like, hey, like, big fan. Would you take a picture with my dad? I was like, I don't even know why I even said that, but I still have the picture like he's holding. He was very cordial about it, and he held Ellie. Looked like he was scared to hold her. She ended up pooping on him. So that's great, but he was very cordial. Like, it's like, approach people like, and if they say no, that's their private moment. That's their right to say it. Like, and don't be all salty about it. Walk away. But just like walking up to somebody with it was like, because it was very light. It was very dimly lit too. Dude just walks in, puts flashes on his camera light, all up in his face. Like, bro, you don't get knocked out doing stuff like that, man. Come on. Yeah. But again, like you said, you could tell it's for clout. I'm sure Demar will be getting sued at some point. Dude's gonna say he couldn't go back to work for weeks. Can't look at a basketball anymore. Like, all that stupid stuff, man.
Oh,
Jesus.
Internet about to get people knocked out for no reason, just trying to be internet famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is spot on, because everything I've ever heard about Demar is he is one of the most approachable dudes, most nicest guys. He does autographs and does pictures, all that. So, but again, man, don't be walking up to anybody that you don't know,
right,
and just acting stupid. You deserve to get knocked the F out.
I need to ask Zabo about that little story he had, if that was true.
Demar?
No, Zabo. That he ran into Devin Carter.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We need to know about that.
Yeah, I need to know. I actually saw him. I went to Fixin's that night on my birthday, and Devin Carter walked out. Hella cool, nice. No one knew who the hell he was.
Didn't see his receding hairline?
Damn.
When he's out in public, he wears like a bandana and a hat.
Sorry, my bad.
Damn.
My bad, Devin.
Devin
My bad. I do like Devin.
I need to know if that really happened.
There's a guy, like, I'm really interested after him getting a full summer, working out, doing all that, how he comes back. Because it was understandable he was going to be rusty most of the second half. It's just he's still learning the league. So I'm very interested to see if he shows any growth. Hopefully he has better shot selection. But overall, he did a lot of great things defensively. He showed a lot of potential. I'm assuming he's part of the cornerstone of anything regardless. So it'd be interesting to see how he comes back next year and what he brings to the table. So, yeah. Houston's blowing.
Is this thing between Michigan and Nick V in the chat? Are y'all just like messing around? Or are y'all real?
That's nothing new. He hates Nick. I don't even know. Nick, man, don't let him bully you, Nick. He's just a bully. He might try to sprinkle crack on you and get you arrested, so be careful. Be careful. Never know. Gotta watch guys like him. What do you guys think about the NBA playoffs so far?
School? Are you watching?
Warriors getting stomped on right now.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, I've been watching it. I think it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
I think overall there's been some good games. Like I mean, obviously there's a lot of 0-2s, but Pacers are up 2-0 on the Bucks. Thunder up
Clippers
2-0.
and Nuggets.
That's a good one.
Clippers and Nuggets and Detroit and New York.
Yes. Cade is the real. Yeah,
Yep.
he's a real one.
He's been hooping all season, so that's a good one.
Was he in year 2? Or is it year 3?
Wasn't he the same draft as Keegan? Or no?
Good question.
Let's see. This is year 3 for him.
Okay, so same year. You're right. Yeah, I mean he's so good. He has so much, and it's crazy because he's so damn good, and there's still room. Like
Yeah,
like he damn near. This might be saying a lot, but he could easily be the best player in the league at some point if his growth continues. Like he literally does it all. Like does not have any weaknesses. Like really doesn't. He plays offensively. He's got an arsenal of weapons. He plays D, and he could. I think he's like I'm trying to see how tall he is, but I forget that is he?
Yeah,
because he's fucking like it's hard for me to always. I don't know why, but it's hard for me to believe that he's a point guard. But I see some of the things he does facilitating. He's definitely a point guard, but he just does so much that I sometimes look at him in the venue of the shooting guard because he's their main scorer. But yeah, I don't want to say he's penny, but he's not. He's not as slick with the passes as Penny, but he's in that mode, like a tall, lanky point guard that can score. He can do it, man. He just does everything really. So, I'm a big fan of dude. Like that's one of my friends is a Detroit fan, and they're really excited for the future of that team. They look really good. They built a really good team over there.
I want to give Zebra PT his props. This technically is Cade's 4th year. Like one of the years he was injured after like a couple of games and missed the rest of the season.
Okay.
So technically his 4th year.
Okay. So it was the year before Keegan that he got drafted then.
Yeah.
Okay. Good call, Zebra. Good call. Look at you with that knowledge, girl. You need to be part of the next All Ladies Night.
There you go.
Don't be sour.
Yes.
So we'll make sure we get her involved too. And like you said, the Denver series is really good. Like I have Denver. I've been picking Denver since day one. So I think they can beat the Clippers, but they can beat the Clippers.
Oh, no. Yes. Did you see Kawhi? Kawhi's healthy.
I agree. They're dangerous when Kawhi plays like that. I agree. I still think Denver still Joker is hard to beat, man. I got to see it. Like I think they still could make it to the Western Conference Finals. Either one of them I could see in the Western Conference Finals, to be honest. So, but that's a good series regardless. I think that's going to go 7.
Yeah.
Wait. You think the Clippers or the Nuggets can make it to Western Conference Finals? That means they got to beat the Thunder in the next round. I don't know.
I'm not saying they will, but I also look at like I do think experience at some point does play a big role, and OKC's still learning, man. Like they're good. Don't get me wrong, they're phenomenal, but you get a veteran team, they can start making you make a lot of mistakes and frustrate you. And I think both of those teams are very veteran laden teams, so I think either one of them can give OKC fits. So
I love how Ramsey's just throwing out all the stats for baseball and none of us talk baseball. He just randomly just throws in baseball information in there. I'm like, all right.
Rather
Yeah.
talk wrestling.
He's like, I'd rather talk wrestling. And I don't even talk that. I wonder if they decided to, like again, I said, like, my hope was that Houston would get swept because that would force them to start thinking about making moves. And then I was wondering, like, they were talking about on D'Lo, like D'Lo and Casey, about would you take Fred VanVleet on this team? Like, would he be a good, like, obviously you'd have to trade, let's say it's Demar. Like, would you do a straight up trade? I mean, money has to work out, obviously, but like, as far as important players in that trade, would you trade DeMar for that type of point guard?
Is Fred past his prime?
Is he that old? Has he been around that long? I know he's been around for a minute, but let me see.
Fred is 30? 31.
31. He just turned 31 in February.
Yeah. Yeah, but 31 now is like 25 back in the 90s. You know, it's the new. He's still not there.
No, and I think if you're trading DeMar for someone like, let's say it's DeMar, you're basically saying you're not looking for 4 or 5 years later. You're still trying to do something now with the team, right? Because if you're going to get him, then you're just restructuring the current team that you have and hoping to make a push. So it fits the timeline of the next 4 to 5 years for sure. And you get yourself a good point guard. I don't think he's definitely not what he was in Toronto, right? That's where he was, Toronto. Yeah. But I still think, as far as like having a veteran point guard that can run the team and get you into sets and all that, like, he is good for that. I think he's really good for Houston.
I don't want Fred VanVleet, dude. He's making $42 million this year, $44 million next year. I don't want.
Is he making that much for real?
Yeah, $42 million this year. Although next year it's a club option for $44 million. I mean, would Houston really want that?
They won't pick up.
Considering how young their team is, do they want to tie up all that money in a 32-year-old player?
I'm trying to think, because they're going to have to pay Sengun at some point, and he's going to cost. Jalen Green. Both of those guys are going to need money. So they probably weren't planning on picking. And that's the thing. He probably would be one of the players that would be available for DeMar if you're looking for a current run. So, yeah,
Scott Perry has connections with Detroit.
Who?
So Scott Perry.
Oh, yeah.
Connections with Detroit. Do you see where I'm going there?
You trying to get Cade Cunningham?
Yes.
Yeah. Cade, I'm going to need you to ask for a trade.
We give up for Cade.
They hate you, then Detroit, Cade. They said, one of them told me, they said, yo mama. That's
Cade,
what I heard.
Can you do a Malice in the Palace Part 2 just real quick?
Yeah. I mean, Pose might be right. I mean, they might pick up the option and trade it away as an expiring, but I don't think they'd pick it up to keep him. Like that, that's a lot of money. When you still have a lot of people that you're going to have to pay, or two main players that you're going to have to pay.
Hey,
Somehow
I
Boston.
agree with Stephen Brown there. Keon for Cade. Who says no? I agree. Who says no on that?
It Let's go.
Anybody not drunk, probably, but
Fair trade.
In Detroit, throw a second round pick in there just to make it more fair. Just,
I'll tell you one thing: if Butler is hurt long term, this series is not going to go long. He is the glue for that Golden State team.
Yeah.
And then that forces Leezy to have to pick another team to root on, because there goes his Golden State team. So,
I love everybody saying Keon's better than Cade now. That's
crazy.
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
Please bring that up in the chat tomorrow during Keith, Tilo, and Casey. Just everybody be like, did y'all hear the rumor for Keon for Cade?
Yeah, everybody says yes to that. That's true. That is true, Stephen Brown. Leezy is for the streets.
Mm-hmm.
You are not wrong there. So
miss me with those blue and yellow hearts, Leezy.
I like how he full-fledged, like straight heel turn. Like, okay.
Hold
all right,
on.
buddy.
Like, what?
Like,
What are
never
you
happened.
doing? That's crazy. I hate Prize Picks.
Did you lose?
Prize Picks. Yes, I had a free $40 play for $1,500.
Why did you go against Steph?
Against Steph? Why would you go against Steph?
Wait. What did you take? What did you take? Which one did you lose? You lost Steph, right?
Peyton Pritchard
Mhm.
for 1 point.
I thought you lost on Steph.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, that's not good.
Run your game. I'm about to switch. Walk your dog.
You're right.
Oh.
You were here before Zabel. Kyle wins today on the after party. He's up with 1-0. I need a Chatty House after party code word. That's what I need.
Yeah, how do we get that? I mean,
I'll find out. I've given them enough money this season.
For real. Right there with you. Okay. Well, we will have to have some interesting upcoming episodes. We'll have to come up because King season is over. We talked about it last week. King season is over. Wrestlemania is over. We'll have to figure out some stuff. So I think
NBA coming up.
That is true. We will talk some WNBA for sure. I think next week I do want to bring up the the Sacramento A's a little bit because we just need to talk about that and them being in town and everybody's thoughts on the first month basically of the season in Sacramento. And we'll get into the attendance a little bit and going out to the ballpark. If you guys haven't, I've been out to a couple games. It's weird. It's definitely weird. I'm hoping D'Lo and Casey have some crazy shows so we can take some stuff off of it. I'm like, all right. But this is the dog days of summer coming, so we will have to figure some stuff out. But we will. As long as Cheesehead is in the office, there'll always be something to talk about. So,
man, we'll get some guests lined up. I have a couple guests.
We'll do that. We'll start.
Come on. Yeah, that couldn't come on during King's season, so that should be cool.
Yeah, I think now, last season we can talk and we'll get close to the draft and get a couple people on for that too. So yeah, for sure. We'll get the ladies episode back on again. We'll do that for sure coming up. So should be good, man. We'll be okay going into the year. And hopefully we'll have some, maybe if there's some blockbuster stuff to go down, we'll just have to go live and on a Friday night or something, see what happens. So, because if we do, that means something good happened, hopefully. So maybe we'll get some surprises leading up to the season. So
hopefully.
Glad everybody was able to join us. We are definitely.
Yes.
We'll definitely have to get her on that episode. So I'll talk to her. So thanks everybody for joining. We appreciate y'all. Katrina, glad you love the wrestling portion. Yes. She's like, I just drank through the whole thing, which is always good. Nothing wrong with that. So
if you whine, I like that.
Like nothing wrong. Like, it's more reason for me to drink. Great. By the time I get on, I'll just be sloshed. It's awesome.
I'm glad I ran around to get ready and I'm like, okay, what are we talking about?
Nothing wrong with looking good, girl. Nothing wrong with looking good. It's all good. So thank y'all for joining us. Join us next Wednesday, 8 p.m. We'll have something going for y'all. Peace.
Chatty House. We ballin', boy. We going up at the Chatty House. We talk about it all, bring the family out. Sub to the channel, hit the likes now. And we only going up when the lights down. Yeah, we just getting started. Ain't no party like a Chatty House party. We just getting started. Ain't no party like a Chatty House party.